Hello, this is Grant, and we're back to another episode of Dead Rising 2 Master Run. So we just picked up some information by the Scoop 1-4, where Sullivan just learned that what Chuck has been accused of, and we established that he has 3 days to prove he's innocent, otherwise he is going to be arrested. And I can't imagine what the punishment is for starting a zombie outbreak, but probably not very good. Probably would interfere with his whole taking care of his daughter thing, so we're going to try and prevent that. So we actually have some time before the next case, I believe. So we'll go out and kind of pick up any random survivors we have and try and level up and pick up some useful items. One thing I like with the combo system, weapon combo system, is that if you have downtime, you can prep. So you can go out and get all the really awesome weapons that you don't have time for otherwise, so that when something big does happen, you'll have it. Particularly go out and make a defiler for just general use, get the knife hands for psychopath fights, Blambo for clearing out areas. It's something that doesn't take up that much time, and you don't have to go that far out of your way unless you want to get some really crazy things. But it does take time, and often I might be on a very tight time crunch trying to get everything together. It's kind of cool with the time system how occasionally you have literally nothing to do. Oh, here's a case of a scratch card, that little red card where I'm not going to get double PP from it, but it did let me make it. So there's times where it just doesn't matter. You can just wander. Other times I can quickly switch to now it's go time. You gotta really hunker down, and I'll get to the point where I'm trying to round corners perfectly and not doing any extra actions that I don't need to be doing. And then other times I'll just kind of slowly wander around or be messing with zombies when I shouldn't be. One thing they did in this game is, in one, you had a lot of passive effects, or I should say active ways to get out of grapples. If a zombie grabs you from behind, press down a whole bunch and you'll do a flip and you'll kill them. And it's something I don't think a lot of players memorized. It was technically faster, and I'd recommend that. I'm still working on doing a video for all the special moves in Dead Rising 1, because there's I want to do kind of a good, bad, ugly type deal, because there's some that are crucial, like the double lariat. And then there's other ones like that little flip where once you unlock it, you probably don't know, but it is very consistent and you will always get out faster than normal. But in this game, most of those have been changed to be passive. So you just do your normal shake, and then it'll perform the one you need to, if it's available. So we're going to head over here to meet the contestants. It's going to be a psychopath fight. It's Leon Bell, that's his name, the motocross guy in the green suit from the game show. He's kind of an annoying fight to deal with because he rides around on his motorcycle. He gives you the keys to a motorcycle of your own, but really, that doesn't help you at all. So you have to fight the fight on his terms, get him to either crash, shoot him, or just let him hit you so he'll taunt and then you can hit him back. If you're having trouble with him, the big secret, in my opinion, is he will not heal if you leave the area. So just stick around Royal Flush or something where you know there's food immediately inside. Go in, eat up, fully heal, come back out, deal with him again. And the food will respawn, so you can keep doing that as much as possible. Particularly, I'd recommend the Fortune City Hotel, because if you go, there's a bar, or I guess it's more of a concierge check-in desk, and there's always a drink, a snack, and a pair of fries, as well as a handgun under there you can keep getting, and that should fully heal you at this point in the game. So that's more than enough to deal with him. As for weapons, I really like the Defiler here, because since he's fast, if you do the jump and then slam attack, it's very easy to catch him off guard. Otherwise, knife gloves are good. And if you don't have those, spike bat will be fine. Basically anything, really. Damaging stuff is better, obviously, because since you have to fight it on his terms, then you kind of want to have something that takes him down quicker. Because a lot of times, it'll be easy to hit him, you just won't have a huge window to do so. You'll be seeing a lot of use of this wheelchair, by the way, in the future. I'll talk about that when I get a survivor with one. But he actually doesn't have any survivors to save. You'll see he kills one in his cutscene. Basically, the reason you want to kill him is one, because he's going to be driving around killing your survivors if you don't. Two, you can actually get his motorcycle, which you can combine with different things. I believe you can combine it with a rabbit, and you end up with like this kind of padded bicycle. I don't know what the point of that is. Chainsaw to make this actual chainsaw bike, or you can put a machine gun on it, or a wheelchair to carry survivors, or just have some extra firepower. I don't know what this guy's deal is. He talks about it that he followed Chuck when he was doing motocross, and he was one of the reasons he got into it, I think. So he was like this hero, this kind of fallen hero to him. But I don't know quite why he's that crazy. I think personally it's about him being in control. Like, he doesn't want to admit like he's like scared or like run away. He wants to be like the center of attention, and well, no one recognizes him. He wants to be bigger than Chuck. But it's kind of unclear. There's the reason I'm doing a lot of my judgment is based off of like one little word he says after this killing this guy. Just like the way he does it, where he's not. I don't think he's insane. I think there's a little element there where he's not quite sure. Like, that's crazy. But when he says bastards up here, if you listen to it. There's the way that comes across to me is something that's like he's trying to justify his behavior for some reason. Like, he's not completely confident. He's not like some of the other psychopaths where it's like, yeah, I just want to kill everyone because fuck them. He actually has like, I think he has some psychological need to like, I think, act like he's in control and come out as like this hero in a way, at least in his own mind. And that's driven him to this. And I think he's also just not that bright. And that he doesn't really have like a big deal with thinking ahead. I mean, he definitely is a big risk taker. Like, he's a big motocross guy. He was in Terror's reality. I think he's more of in the moment, screw whatever that comes after situation. So he gives you this motorcycle, which is nice. If you complete this whole scoop, it means you have a motorcycle at the south end and a motorcycle at the north end. So getting around is a lot faster. But since you can't have any survivors ride with you, that's still not that helpful. So, especially once we unlock the shortcut. I don't quite know where he goes. You can theoretically fight him pretty much anywhere in the strip, but I'm always one to go fight him up by this giant rock formation. You can actually use that electric rake pretty well if you want to sit in the save room, or there's the maintenance room. There's a save station right there, so that's convenient. You can actually just like hit him as he drives by, and that does a lot of damage, but you gotta get the timing down. I think here I'm just having fun with the motorcycle. Like I said, if you pull left trigger and go to one side, you'll do that slide right there, and that helps you stop as well as hit more zombies. I chose this area because, kind of like with the boss fight with Snowflake, I think if you stand somewhere where he can't hit you, they don't want him to sit around and get shot in the face, so it forces him to go away. That, or maybe I can get him to charge me and then I jump up on the platform so he crashes and I have some time to hit him. I don't really know. There's not a lot of great ways with this fight. Maybe if I had more like reason to do it, I would probably try and find a way to get him to consistently get stuck. Kind of like the convicts in 1 is what I would compare this fight to, except with a little bit more, like, it's like if you beat the convicts once, they keep coming back and you could always use their car. And how they're just like a nuisance until you deal with them. Which, you have to go through here for pretty much every survivor you save, so you do need to deal with this guy. That being said, he's around. You don't have to deal with him at any particular time. He's there for most of the day for that reason, because obviously if you could just wait for him to despawn, it would kind of ruin the point. I get lucky and I get some little hits in. There's this maintenance room. The only thing worth note of this is you can make this with spray paint, and the spray paint can and a traffic cone makes this like siren you can use to kill zombies. To my knowledge, it's not going to help at all with Leon, but oh well. What's nice, so every time he hits you, he's going to taunt, and that's when you need to go in and just whack on him. To do this fight consistently, I'd recommend having lots of food and a high damaging weapon, and just kind of letting him hit you. Like, you don't have to like sit and stand there, like try and get a couple hits in and dodge out of the way. But then, that way, the worst case scenario, if he does hit you, you have a chance to take him on. Because he can be really hard to read. They're like, is he going to charge forward? Is he going to taunt? He's very inconsistent because you can fight him in so many areas on top of all that. But I don't think it's too hard. He gives you a great reward. So, we're going to want to make sure we take him on. I actually think I kind of finished him pretty well if I remember that this is the right clip. I've had other times where, like I said, similar with Snowflake, he'll just decide to go on some really weird detour and not come back. But worst case scenario, you can always leave and come back and deal with him at a later time. He will not heal. I don't quite know how that works in Dead Rising because I can pretty much always kill every psychopath in one go. I don't know if he has a special distinction. I think the snipers in this area are the same way. So it might just be part of this like area. Or maybe that might be the case with everything, which would surprise me if that was the case. Because if that was true, then your best bet with psychopaths is just not bother. Just go around and whittle them down slowly. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where it'd be cool to know the answer, but game's not hard enough to really warrant bother going to look. That being said, I can confirm if you leave, he will not heal. So, that's probably my biggest tip, is don't feel pressure to end it now. Just come back when you're at, like, full strength. This fight's one of the reasons I like that health book. It doubles all food items you eat, which you can make the argument where what's better, double health or just having another full heal? Like if you're carrying like orange juice, that would fully heal you anyway. Why not just carry that? But I particularly like it because it lets you make good use of like found food. Particularly, it lets you heal up really well from stuff in the trash. Like there, I opened that up. You can usually get like a drink or snacks or something, or like jelly beans. If you're not as lucky, you'll get spoiled food, which with the magazine in this level is pretty much a full heal, but then you have to deal with throwing up all the time, which is pretty bad for this fight. I thought I might try to see if he would get stuck on my motorcycle, because he probably knows all the level geometry, but I would not be surprised if he doesn't take into account stuff like bicycle geometry, since it's not static. It wasn't programmed in. Like there, I don't know if he just was smart enough to dodge it or just came at the perfect angle. You could probably use guns to a pretty effective strategy, but it probably depends what you have. And like I said, guns aren't that damaging in this game. I'm really hitting my slow speed here, just trying, like, I just want to get up somewhere I can hit him. Or he does that and just like barely love taps me and I fall to the ground. Or I get hit by those little chainsaws. This is a frustrating fight for me. It's not hard, I know I'm gonna win. It's just like, come here, let me kill you. Especially without the dodge. Like once you have the dodge, it's pretty easy to kind of get out of his way. The axe does lots of damage, but it's too slow. I switch over to the bat because it's nice and fast. It's infuriating. But we should be good. I try, when I'm recording this, I try to go for some style points. But sometimes the NPCs just won't work with you. Here, I feel so bad. It's like, oh, he got stuck over there. If only I had been there. Because if you can get him to ramp something and he'll be stunned, or just if he's like straight up stuck, dealing with him is so not an issue. You can just stand there and just whack him with any weapon. So here I'm going to go take a little dip out and heal up because he ran off. So there's always a pineapple and a melon immediately to the right here in Royal Flush Plaza. So I'm going to hop in there, grab that. There's also vodka in the suit store. Also, again, immediately to the right. So if you're having trouble, like I said, I like to stick around Royal Flush Plaza or Fortune City Hotel because you have easy access to both of those. So just, yeah, pop on in, grab them, heal up. The vodka is usually a full heal, but like I said, too much alcohol might fuck you over. I don't know what else you have. So I like to always go for like actual food if I can. You can also hop over into Roy's Mart where they have like a burrito and an orange juice and a coffee creamer. So there's plenty of stuff here, and when you're leaving this door, zombies aren't really an issue either. So now we're going to head back out and hunt him down again. Man, these cutscenes are brutal. That being said, the loading screens are much better in this game. Like anytime you get a new ability, you'll notice they show you that ability in the little cutscene. It'd be better if it was animated so you could kind of get an actual idea, but they'll say, "Oh, forward kick, right trigger, and X," just to know like you actually saw it. At this point, I think long cutscenes are kind of a staple of the series. Like, it's like, I don't want to say it's a feature, but it's to be expected. If you look way in the background, you can just see him. It can be really hard to keep track of him. Which is one of the issues is, you can fight him in other areas, but sometimes he just doesn't want to come down to you. I come here just because I know he's going to be in the middle. It's frustrating. I wish there was some, like, actually good strategy, like, they'd implemented, like, oh, maybe if you get a gun, you can shoot out the tires and that will temporarily stun him or slow him down or something. But to my knowledge, the best thing you can do is just kind of do this little, like, Toro bullet charge thing with him. I think if you're being extra crafty and you can't get out of the way, you can actually just jump over his chainsaws without dodging out of the way. So here I go. I try to look cool. Let's see if I pull it off. Haha. Just barely got it. So since he's dead, he can no longer do damage to you. So that was what I was hoping for. So here, I guess, canonically, it's you shot out his gas tank, and that's why he's going to go get his other bike, and that's why he originally opens that up. Man, his face looks terrible on that. I should really have not done the split at all. He just looks so kind of derpy with that line down his face and it stretched.
Oh, you think it's that easy, Chuck? You think you're the man? You'll never beat me.
So, I think, let me know if you think this right here is intentional or not. I think personally he is intentionally killing himself here. I think he knows he's either going to die or can't do anything. And I think this is his way of saying that he doesn't lose to Chuck. Like, he wasn't defeated, he went out on his own. But also, I'm pretty sure that suit is flame retardant. Which, I mean, maybe that's why he's not dying instantly. And that would still destroy your face, but I don't know, he's such a weird guy. Like, he's meant to be like more of a villain, like as if they're supposed to have like a huge build up and rivalry, but it's just, oh hey, he insults you and your dead wife at the beginning, and then there's this. It was definitely probably one of those big ideas for this game that they pitched. Like, you can always tell which ones those are. Like in Dead Rising 1, obviously, like I would say the big bosses are like the clown is a big one, Carlito fights, the tank, the like classics. Whereas this, you have like the tiger, the motorcycle fight, and a couple odd ones. I don't want to go through all of them. I don't want to spoil everything. They have some really cool fights and cool ideas in this one. I cannot wait to play Dead Rising 3. I thought this was really cheap. I'm actually going so fast that the game's not rendering the trees fast enough. So especially up here, as I'm going to go over to this far left, I'm going to go jump, and then all of a sudden, boom, tree just pops in. Thanks, Capcom. There's always stuff hidden over here, usually like grenades for some reason. There's a lot of grenades in Fortune City. Don't know what that's about. But I'm going to take a nice little victory lap, and then we're going to go deal with the next mission, Barn Burner, which has a interesting little couple. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out one of the links below. Till next time, don't take your zombie safety for granted.